Okay, in this video tutorial, we're going to look at modeling the stool. So last video tutorial, we created the templates, and now we're going to use polygon objects to build this entire stool up. So let's go and create polygon primitives, and we're going to create a cylinder. Just note, I have interactive creation switched off, which just means it creates this without me having to drag it out. Let's go into this channel box layer editor and poly cylinder just to look at how this is built up. So the first thing I'm going to do is reduce this subdivision axes. Let's just translate this up. So just W on the keyboard and just move this up on the Y roughly into place. So this is going to be the seat. The height I'm going to set to around 1. Remembering this is quarter scale, so this would be about 4 centimeters. And the radius I'm going to set to around 4. We could also get this number from if we just bring up our measurements here. So our depth and width ended up 31.75 centimeters. Half of this for the radius, 15.87. So if we take that and just bring up our calculator, here we have this. We can see 15.87 divided by 4 to get our quarter scale, 3.96, so 4. Okay. So I'm going to take this, and by itself, that's fine. But we can see on our template image right here, we have this corner, whereas on our model we have this straight 90-degree angle on each of these points. So how can we get around this? Well, what we can do is go into our component mode. I'm going to right click over the object and go to edge. I'm just going to select one of these edges that run through this loop here and double click, and then grab one of the edges on the bottom and shift double click. Let's just select all the edges around there. We can then go into our edit mesh tool and go down to our bevel. So this creates our bevel for us. Okay. Now here, what we can also do is we can go into our offset and we can edit this here, but we can just interactively edit this by clicking on the actual title and then middle mouse dragging in the viewport, so we've got more of an interactive control over this. So about 0.4 is good for me. Let's come out of component mode, F8. F8 to go into object mode, you might have to toggle that. And now we can concentrate on the leg. So again, create polygon primitives and create a cylinder. Poly cylinder. Set this to 12. Our radius I'm going to set to about 0. Let's have a look. 6. I'm just looking at the thinnest point down here. In fact, I'll just move this up. 0.6 something. About 0.62. Around there. Instead of scaling this up, because scaling actually is scaling up from the middle of this, and we'd have to remove this object back up. I'm going to use a component mode again, so I'm going to right click, go into vertex, select all of the vertices around this, and let's just move these up to roughly the top. If you're unsure about this, you can always go into the 4-panel viewport, which we're going to do in a second. So again, F8 just to toggle out of that. So the problem we have here is that we have our object, our leg created, but to create the detail, to create the profile of this, we don't have enough polygons, enough cuts and vertices through this to be able to actually edit the simple shape into that more complex shape. We could go to our polycylinder and add the subdivisions here, so as many as we want, but I find a better way, a more interactive way, is just to go in with our interactive edge loop tool. So I'm going to go to a 4-panel layout, choose either the front or the right viewport and press space. And then I'm going to go into my edit mesh tool, insert edge loop tool. I'm going to start dragging. Let's make sure I have this object selected. Let's do that again. Insert edge loop tool. And make sure I just drag down to these key points. Just making sure I'm over the edge here, not over the empty space. Around there. And I'm going to do one tight up to the bottom, and also up here as well. I might just put one more in here. Okay. Now we have those. I'm going to go in, just right click, go into my vertex selection. I'm just going to press the move tool, or Q with the select tool. I'm going to start now going in and actually scaling these up. So I'm just going to drag select around those, press R, my scale tool, and just in the middle of these, just start scaling these up to the profile size. Okay, I think these are okay down here. Scale in there. Okay. So we have our rough shape there. Again, F8. I can go into my object mode. Just go back. Let's go into our shaded mode, 5. And there we have our leg. We just need to deal with these parts here. So I'm going to go into my right click menu, face. I'm going to drag select around these, just making sure I've got that selection the whole way around. I'm just going to go into this edit mesh, and I'm going to do an extrude on these. So I've got this set to the default, which is our normals. I'm just going to click on this move over on the Z axis and pull this out. And then I'm going to use the scale tool. I'm going to drag this down. Now I've got the measure of this, I'm actually going to just hide my templates. Remember, you're going to be in the layer editor to do this. So let's go through now, select our next set and just press G. Again, we can drag these out, can scale these down. Our next set, G to repeat the last tool. Drag these out, drag these down. And finally down here, grab these, G, drag these out, scale these down. Okay. Component mode. So there we have our stool and our leg. The leg's a little bit thick right now, but we'll have a look at actually fixing that in the next session, in the next video tutorial. And we'll also look at rotating this leg into the right position, fixing the bottom, and then duplicating it around. Okay, that's it for now.